and Zachary with Common Book Resources. Hello, Gary and Saskia.
How do you do?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for taking cut myself off. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me this morning.
You're welcome.
So kind of starting off, I wanted to say congratulations on the new year of Slow Horses. I got to watch it over the weekend. It is fantastic. And I also really want to see Lamb just continue to mock people for the rest of the year. I just want to watch Gary, you just make people feel terrible about themselves. It's very entertaining. Uh, so I kind of wanted to start with the thing I think I love the most about the show is the bluntness to it. It is Tinker Tailor's by the way of The Office. Like there's always that blend of very realistic ripping into each other like you do at your work, plus, spy thriller. So for the both of you, I was so curious. As performers, how do you balance that kind of little comedic edge, that little comical piece of this world and of this stone, while still also being a very, very effective spy thriller? Like, what is it like to kind of find that tenor?
Well, I think it partly comes down to the writing, doesn't it? I mean, it's. I always say this that if you've got a really good piece of writing, then all the signposts are there for you. Just the map, where to pull it back, where to push it, where emotion. You follow it, and you have indicators, you have clues in good writing, and if you've got some give it your experience and technique and intuition, and you follow that. We try to. I think the frequency that we found in the first one was very good. I think we're not asking for laughs a lot. I think that's partly why it works. I mean, why the books have been I believe why the books have been so successful is because he does, there's not a great deal of humor in Le Carre. It's wonderful writing, but Mick sort of does give you that world, one that we're familiar with, but infuses it with real, I think, very real, flawed, complex people, and obviously has a great sense of humor. But we just don't push for the laughter. Yeah.
No, but that's the wonderful way that they've turned the books into scripts, because they've kept the truth of the relationships and of the characters, and nobody's as you said, going for laughs, and also the way they've cast it. And you very much, if you don't mind me saying, Gary has led the way, really, because he has funny bones, and he also has a very deep truth thermometer inside him, and he has sort of allowed us and shown us that, okay, we're going to play this for real, and we're going to find a way that Catherine can give a dry remark as good as anyone, but she's not doing it for laughs, even though some of the things she comes out with are quite funny. But she, speaking from her point of view, she sees things. She's dealing with her dysfunction in a different way to all the other characters. So she has an opportunity to be more of a witness to what's going on.
Yeah.
And Lamb is very funny, but he doesn't use his humor to make his colleagues laugh. He uses it, I think, to privately entertain himself.
Yes, and to insult them.
Yes. But then also the humor comes from, so I'm really interested in comedy as I get older. What makes certain actors funny? What makes scripts funny? But it's not just us, it's the editing, it's the way, the timing of stuff when we're shooting it. It's really important. I think shooting comedy on film is actually very complicated because there are quite a lot of people involved. You're not just on stage with your character and your script and an audience, because that will affect the timing of a gag or a line or whatever. And it's endlessly fascinating to me how we can keep that humor alive in this program, but then, you know, season 1, somebody gets their head chopped off. You know, that there are dark truths to what we're also taking the piss out of.
Well, in the first season, you know, you may remember that Taverner and I have Jackson Lamb and Taverner have that scene on the park bench, and we're discussing something very serious, and then he passes wind, and she goes, "Oh my God, you're disgusting." And then he sort of, and then we carry on, and we pick the scene up again. Well, we don't even interrupt the scene. It's just something. It's just who he is.
I mean,
and it's
Kristen and you. I mean, she's a master of dry one line. I mean, she's amazing.
She really is.
But she doesn't play it for laughs. She just is completely immersed in her character, and comes out with these incredibly,
yeah.
But it's the writing too, isn't it? Very much so. Will is a master of that tone.
Yeah.
But then I'll read a book of Mick's and I go, oh, I hope they put that in a script, because that is really funny, what he's just said or what she's just said.
Oh, I completely agree, because it is that lived-in quality that lends it. It would feel weird if it was like taking a second to do a punchline. It really feels so natural, and that is one of the best parts of the series. This is also all of my time, but I'm really glad I got one really good question out. I got that running for the whole time. Thank you both so much. I'm such a huge fan of both of your work, so this was a really, really cool experience. I'm also such a huge fan of the show. I'm so excited for everybody to see series 2. And 3 and 4 when that comes up. I needed to mention that. Both of you have a good rest of your day, a good rest of all of these, and I really hope I get to talk to you both again soon.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.